Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Get ready to set sail on an epic adventure, because today we're diving deep into the world of the Vikings. But not just the battles and longships you already know. We're about to uncover some seriously unknown secrets that will totally change how you see these legendary people. You might think you know the Vikings, but trust me, there's so much more beneath the surface. So grab your horns or your favorite mug, and let's get started. First off, let's talk about their appearance. Forget the horned helmets. That's mostly a myth from 19th century opera. Real Viking warriors wore simple, functional helmets, often conical or spangenhelms, offering practical protection without the theatrical horns. But it wasn't just about practicality. Vikings, both men and women, were incredibly fashion-conscious and well-groomed. We're talking meticulously braided hair, elaborate jewelry crafted from silver, gold, and bronze, and clothes dyed in vibrant colors using natural pigments. Archaeological finds show combs, tweezers, and even ear spoons were common tools in their personal grooming kits. They bathed regularly, which was more than some other European cultures at the time. This image of scruffy, wild barbarians is far from the truth. They were often quite dapper and took pride in their appearance, probably much more than most people realize today. Now, let's shatter another myth, the idea that Vikings were just brutal, mindless raiders. While their raiding expeditions are certainly a part of their history, they were also phenomenal traders and explorers. Their longships, those iconic vessels, weren't just for war. They were incredible feats of engineering that allowed them to navigate rivers, cross oceans, and reach distant lands like North America, over 500 years before Columbus. They established vast trade networks stretching from the Caspian Sea to Greenland, exchanging furs, amber, walrus ivory, and slaves for silver, silk, and spices. They even minted their own coins. These weren't just warriors. They were sophisticated merchants who understood global economics and established settlements that became thriving centers of commerce. Imagine the sheer audacity and skill it took to sail into unknown waters, establish trade routes, and build new communities in foreign lands. And speaking of their ships, have you ever wondered about their technology? Viking longships weren't just fast, they were incredibly versatile. Their shallow draft allowed them to sail up rivers, giving them access deep into enemy territories, while their robust construction meant they could endure the harsh conditions of the open ocean. They were propelled by both oars and sails, making them adaptable to different winds and currents. The techniques used to build these ships, like the clinker-built method where overlapping planks were riveted together, provided both strength and flexibility. This level of craftsmanship and understanding of hydrodynamics was truly advanced for their time, demonstrating an ingenuity that went far beyond simple brute force. They were master shipbuilders, and their vessels were the backbone of their expansion and success. But what about their society? Most people envision a male-dominated warrior culture, and while warrior prowess was certainly valued, Viking society was surprisingly progressive in some ways, especially concerning women's rights. Women held significant power and influence within the household and community. They managed farms when their husbands were away, could own property, initiate divorce, and even lead religious ceremonies. Some sagas even hint at female warriors or shield maidens, though the extent of their historical presence is still debated by scholars. However, archaeological evidence does show women buried with weapons in some instances, challenging the purely patriarchal narrative. Furthermore, Viking law gave women a surprising degree of autonomy and legal standing compared to many other cultures of the era. They weren't just bystanders, they were integral to the functioning of their society. Let's also talk about their impact on language. English speakers, you might be surprised to learn how much Viking influence is still present in our everyday vocabulary. Words like sky, leg, anger, take, knife, husband, window, fellow, and even they, them, and their all have Old Norse origins. When the Vikings settled in Britain, particularly in the Danelaw region, their language mingled with Old English, leading to a significant linguistic exchange. So, every time you look at the sky or open a window, you're unknowingly speaking a little bit of Viking. This shows a much deeper, more intertwined cultural exchange than simple conquest, leading to a rich linguistic legacy that persists today. And their belief system wasn't just about Odin and Thor beating up giants, though that's certainly a captivating part of it. The Vikings had a complex and nuanced cosmology. Their religion, Old Norse paganism, emphasized honor, fate, weird, and the interconnectedness of all things. They believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each with distinct roles and a rich mythology filled with epic tales of creation, conflict, and destruction. Their rituals involved sacrifices, feasting, and storytelling, connecting them deeply to their ancestors and the spiritual world. It wasn't just a collection of myths, it was a living, breathing framework for understanding life, death, and the universe. The concept of Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain, was a powerful motivator for warriors, but their spiritual practices extended far beyond the battlefield, encompassing daily life and agricultural cycles. Speaking of their daily life, what did they actually eat? You might imagine a diet purely of meat, but their meals were much more varied and sophisticated. They were skilled farmers who grew barley, oats, and rye for bread and porridge. They raised cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs, and were excellent fishermen. Fermented foods were also common, from sour milk products to various forms of mead and ale. Wild berries, nuts, and mushrooms supplemented their diet, making it quite balanced. They preserved food through smoking, salting, and drying to last through the harsh Scandinavian winters. So, while a hearty stew was definitely on the menu, their diet was surprisingly diverse and resourceful, reflecting their deep connection to the land and sea. Let's touch on their artistry and craftsmanship. Beyond their ships and jewelry, Vikings were master woodcarvers, metalworkers, and textile producers. Their art is characterized by intricate knotwork, animal motifs, and stylized patterns. Imagine the level of detail and skill required to create a finely carved longship prow or a beautiful silver amulet. They also had a rich tradition of poetry and sagas, passed down orally and later written, which are invaluable sources of information about their culture, beliefs, and history. These aren't just crude drawings, they are sophisticated artistic expressions that tell stories and convey deep cultural meanings. Their craftsmanship wasn't merely functional, it was an expression of their identity and worldview. And finally, let's debunk the myth of their disappearance. The Viking Age didn't end with a bang, but with a slow, gradual transformation. As they settled in new lands, they integrated with local populations, adopting Christianity and forming new kingdoms. The very word Viking itself shifted in meaning over time, becoming less about a specific people and more about a period of activity. Their descendants became the founders of nations like Russia, England, through the Normans who were descendants of Vikings, and of course, modern-day Scandinavia. So they didn't vanish. They evolved, leaving an indelible mark on the world that continues to resonate today. Their legacy is woven into the fabric of European history and beyond, a testament to their adaptability and enduring spirit. The Vikings were so much more than just fierce warriors. They were sophisticated traders, masterful shipbuilders, ingenious artisans, and explorers who pushed the boundaries of the known world. They left behind a legacy of innovation, cultural exchange, and a fascinating history that continues to inspire and intrigue us. I hope this deep dive has given you a new appreciation for these incredible people. If you enjoyed uncovering these unknown secrets, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next historical adventure. What's your favorite new fact about the Vikings? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.